What's up, everybody? It's your boy Chris C. Pup Surratt bringing you another edition of the Car Concierge Show, the show that helps you with the buying, selling, repairing, and maintaining of all of your vehicles. Of course, it is Sunday, our weekend review show, and it is also Happy Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day. So we're going to do a quick review show. I'm not a heel, so I have some plans, but we just wanted to touch on a couple of great things that happened or things that happened this week in the world that we live in and go from there. Okay, so first things up, we're going to talk about the diss era that has been created and how it continues to grow. And with that being said, I am going to make a bet. I'm going to make a bet that is going to be an extremely long time before we have a situation or even a week where someone doesn't diss someone else. And I'm talking about new people. I don't think, of course, we're going to continue to see the people that we've already seen diss each other continue to diss each other. I believe that that'll come to some end at some time. But I also think that we are going to have new combatants that enter the arena every week, where it be a comedian with another comedian, a rapper against another rapper, a boxer against another boxer. There's going to be a diss situation that happens every week from now on. And when it stops happening, and you guys point that out to me, whoever points it out to me first, I'm going to send you $50. Because I really believe that we're in a powerful diss era where the negativity of the world has started to take over, and it's not only taking over, but people have seen that it can be very fruitful, and it can be very clout chasing, or it could bring much needed attention to people that they haven't had in a long time. So I expect it to continue. So in that tone, let's check out the new entry into it, The Game. Now, mind you, I've never been a super duper Game fan. He's put out some good stuff that I listen to, but I can't think of nothing off the top of my head right now. But he decided to enter into the diss era himself, probably because just what I said, nobody's looking for The Game right now. He hasn't been hot for some time, except for him starting beefs with people. So this era thing is not new for him. But he decided he was going to jump into the whole diss era situation and put his little word in, and guess who he decided to jump on? He decided that he was going to jump on none other than our favorite Rick Ross. Now, mind you, Rick Ross has already started, took his opportunity to jump into the whole beef sector of the situation and, say his little piece about Drake. But it didn't go off that hot. Drake decided he was going to come at him, and, it was interesting. But, the Game just probably felt like he was being ignored in this situation. Everybody else was getting their shine, dissing everybody, so the Game decided he wanted to do it as well. So, real quick, let's check out his quick Rick Ross diss. We've known that, when we do this, sometimes the copyright is going to get taken or whatever, so we might have to take it off the video later. But you guys can always go into YouTube or any other space to listen to his little diss for Rick Ross. But we're going to try it, show it on our show. If it gets taken off or we have to remove it, so be it. But let's check it out.
Draco flick, it's like the light on the Carter 4. Bad kid, good city, I studied the art of war. Run into that hand-me-down mansion and lock up all the doors. Stop with all that raving, nigga, you not from Baltimore. I don't wanna hear about no fish tanks and marble floors. No spiral steps, no swimming pools, no hors d'oeuvres, no Audemars, no car shows, no pinky rings, no umbrellas in the car doors. Introduce me and my connect to that Colombian you chopped that raw for. It wasn't fabricated. The lies you tell are getting saturated. What happened to the birds in the Maserati? They just evaporated? Boss. That shit be too exaggerated. Fucking with a confident nigga, get your head decapitated. Leonard DiCaprio.
Oh nah, this second beat is sliding.
The hundreds for yacht, and it was captivating. Congratulations, what an imagination. From CO to drug kingpin, now this nigga acting Haitian. The stories these niggas tell. He gon' tell us he got a key for every nigga he locked in a cell. He gon' tell us he just bought another crib, he living well, but he won't tell us about his health condition. He sick as hell, he popping pills. They starting to fuck with his brain, seizures off the lean. Balenciaga shorts got shit stains, he not a mastermind. He got it, line after line, laid back in the Maybach, making up shit just to pass the time. He think he Big Meech. Free Larry Hoover, Miami a big beach. Now watch how I maneuver. I don't tippy toe. I know plenty Zos that pull up in semi-trucks, hop out and let a semi go, so let me know. I let them boys and them drop Chevys go. It's humid in the 305, but they pushing heavy snow. Compton Grand Reaper, I make you reap with the devil, so walking through live with the same eyes niggas had in belly though. This ain't the new Death Row, this the old Harry O. Game is one of them niggas, Blue Da Vinci, Meech and Terry know, so my advice is let it go. Oh, I almost forgot, fuck Bel Air, it's West Side, we let the Henny flow. So when that muzzle smoke, and that thing hot, even when the camera out of focus, just...
That's decent. I mean, we never said the Game wasn't a good rapper, so the song, it sounded pretty decent. He was getting at him, talking about his Bel Air. I love me some Bel Air, though, I ain't tripping. But he was getting at him, so. And, I mean, once again, guys, this is not new. Dissing other rappers or obviously dissing other comedians and stuff like that. These things are not new. And it has just been known, or just been shown over the last couple of weeks, how profitable it can be, you know, how engaging it can be to get the masses to start paying attention to you if they weren't paying attention to you before. You know that Kendrick has gotten more followers and more fans off of this. Drake probably hasn't lost any fans and lost any followers. Probably gotten some more off of this because, you know, people who really wasn't looking for Drake but were fans of Kendrick or listening to Drake diss Kendrick, so they starting to like Drake. It's just a big situation where they're using this platform or even this negativity in this era to promote themselves, to make more money for themselves. And in that term, it's a great thing. But mind you, once it becomes negative, once it becomes really negative, like, you know, security guards getting shot at Drake's house, you know, people going to his house to do stuff to him, people threatening Kendrick, start threatening family members and stuff like that, that's when it gets bad, and that's where we have to bow out. As long as it's fun, it's just music, you can talk crazy, you can make up stories, if they true or not, we don't care, as long as, you know, as long as nobody's getting hurt, that is absolutely fine. So, as long as you keep it with the music, keep it as the music, it's a good thing. It's a positive thing. It's a profitable thing, and it only gives people something to look at and enjoy, even though it's negative to some degree. So, that being said, the diss era will continue. If no one disses anybody next week, get at me. I'll send you $50. I promise. So, let's move on. I didn't know if I was going to really touch on this subject, but we have to do our week in review, and this was a very poignant situation that happened this week where we found that we have to start getting back to talking about relationships and things of that nature, where we found that Shaunie O'Neal has a book coming out. Shaquille O'Neal's ex-wife, I think her name is Shawnee Henderson. She just got married to a well-known preacher not that long ago. But it was revealed this week that she felt like she never loved Shaq. And so, and of course, now mind you, she has a book coming out, and you know, it's not uncommon. I guess it's not uncommon for. Well, she's promoting herself, so she in promotion you have to try to put out the most engaging information to get people to desire to read your book or memoir, as it were. So she put out this statement that she never loved Shaquille O'Neal when they were together. No matter what, for a man, if a woman is going to sit here and say about a man that she never loved him, specifically in a situation where you had multiple children and you were together for some extended period of time, that's going to be a painful statement for a man to hear from a woman. I don't care who you are. I don't care what your situation is. If you spend any amount of time caring for a woman, loving a woman, raising a family with a woman, if you hear her say that she never loved you, that's gonna hurt you. That's gonna hurt you right in the chest, man. I don't care. I mean, and of course, Shaq, my favorite Q dog, he was stoic about it, of course, always. Strong about it, of course, always, because he has, as a long time ago, he accepted the fact that he considered himself not to be the greatest of husbands, not to be the greatest of. He didn't say it wasn't a great father. I think we all can consider him a fairly good father, but he admits that he was not a good husband. He admits that there was way too much temptation in the world when he was married to Shaunie, and it was in full force in his face, and he understood that. So, and he accepted that. He apologized profusely, and he did much to try to, rectify his part in their divorce and breaking up of their family. But of course, what we're talking about now is her statement that she's not sure if she ever loved him. So let's go. We're going to check out an article from the People. We're going to read it out to you guys, go over it, and, talk about marriage in this day and age. All right, my friends. So I'm going to read this off to you guys really quickly. So it starts off. It's an article from People by Natasha Dye, and this came out May 9th, so a couple of days ago. It says, Shaquille O'Neal's ex-wife Shaunie says she's not sure she ever loved him, and he says, I understand. The basketball legend seemingly responded to ex-wife Shaunie Henderson one day after her memoir was released. Shaunie O'Neal shared a somber message on Instagram after the release of his Start over. Shaquille O'Neal shared a somber message on Instagram after the release of his ex-wife Shaunie Henderson's memoir, in which the Basketball Wives star questioned if she was ever really in love with the former NBA player. In her memoir, Undefeated, Change the Rules, and Winning on My Own Terms, released on May 7th, Henderson, 49, writes, looking back, I don't know that I was ever really in love with the man of O'Neal, whom she married in 2002. Over the course of their relationship, which began in the late 90s and ultimately ended in 2009 when Henderson filed for separation, the couple struggled with infidelity, which O'Neal admitted to in his 2011 memoir, Shaq Uncut, My Story. Henderson explained in her memoir that she was in love with the idea of being married to the man I had a family with, and was in love with the idea of building a life together during their marriage. O'Neal and Henderson share 4 children, sons Sharif and Shakir, and daughters Amara and Miara. They also both parent son Miles from Henderson's previous relationship. And O'Neal has a daughter, Tahira, with his former girlfriend, Arnetta Yarborough. Some cool names. The reality star shared that she truly did enjoy spending time with O'Neal, but because he was trying to be a world-famous 30-something multi-millionaire with thousands of women throwing themselves at him At the same time he was being a husband and a father, their relationship ultimately dissolved. On May 8th, O'Neal took to Instagram to share a seemingly pointed message in response to Henderson. Quote, I understand. I wouldn't have been in love with me either. Wishing you all the best. All love, Shaq. He wrote in white text over a black screen. O'Neal captioned the post, trust me, I get it. Look like the ice cream man coming through. The post received an outpour of support for O'Neal in the comments, including thoughtful messages from his and Henderson's son Sharif. Sharif24 wrote, love you, man, you saved my life, in one comment. In another, Sharif said, literally the most lovable and likable person on the planet. Blackish creator Kenya Barris wrote, class act in the comments, while television host Tamron Hall left a red heart emoji on the post, and rapper Rick Ross commented a 100% 100 emoji. When Henderson announced her memoir in January, she told people she was nervous to divulge details of her relationship with the NBA legend, but felt like she needed to clarify the public's misconception of her. What misconception? I always had a fear of sharing too much and telling my story that involved anybody else, Henderson shared. I didn't want to disrespect someone else's story, even if it was a part of mine. But as I get older and do more things in the entertainment industry, I found that people have a misconception of who I am. Now married to Pastor Keon Henderson, the mother of 5 explained, anything involving Shaquille is always a sketchy thing because he is who he is, and despite what our story is, no one ever wants to hear what could come across as not the greatest reputation. Henderson told people that her ex-husband having publicly admitted to his infidelity during their marriage, made it easier for her to open up and undefeated. I was like, oh, okay, he told on himself, she said. I'm literally telling my story, my journey, which he was a part of, she continued. So I've always been a little nervous about that, but I think I did a good job of sharing my story without destroying him, because that's not my intent at all, ever. All right, well, cool. I mean, that's pretty cool. Look, it's hard to talk about these things. You know, relationships are always hard. Most people understand that, or if you've ever seen any of my videos or checked out any of my stuff, you know, I am not married, but I am not against marriage. I'm not an advocate for marriage, but I'm not against marriage. I think that if a marriage will and can work, then it is a great thing. I do believe that marriage now is a lot harder to understand or to work through for most people because of the changes in society and changes of how people feel, and the morality of people would be my best way to say it. People don't see marriage how I think it had supposed to be seen. You know, the vows of marriage are not being adhered to. And my biggest thing always was that, you know, you have to be concrete in marriage because you're saying that in front of God. And my biggest thing is that people get divorced. Divorce is so horrible because divorce is 2 people admitting they lied to God. That's what I think. I know I hate marriage because I hate divorce. As a matter of fact, I take that back. I don't hate marriage. I love good marriages. I love good marriages. I love people who are married and it's working great and it's working out correctly. I hate divorce. I've seen way too many situations that I've been talked to so many men that have been destroyed by divorce. I hear so many horror stories of men being destroyed by divorce. And my biggest thing is that it doesn't matter who you are or how rich you are. That, you know, all these people saying that you have to have a bag to have a successful marriage. How many multi-millionaire superior people in this world have gotten divorced. What was that dude? There's so many. If we live in a world where Hellboy can't stay married, it's a hard world to live in. If we live in a world where some of the richest NBA players can't satisfy their wives, some of the richest actors, some of the richest comedians can't maintain their marriages, is it all because of infidelity? People have been cheating on each other for a long time. I'm pretty sure that all the marriages back in the day, there was some infidelity involved in that, but they understood that they made a vow to God that they was going to stick it out with this person. Now, and I know there's situations where, you know, that you just can't do it. You can't do it. But if you decide that you want to walk down the aisle with this person, make sure you understand what you're getting into. Make sure you understand that you are telling God that you're going to stay with this person for the rest of your life. And my thing is that it's too whimsical with you people. It's too 3 marriages, 4 marriages. You gonna keep lying to God? And my thing was, you know, my marriage proposal is strictly a situation where the best thing would be to take God out of it. Turn marriage into something a little bit less than it is. Because what it is now is a big statement on people's inability to commit. A big statement on people's ability to go against the word of God. Now, I'm not the biggest religious person, not the biggest Christian thing, and that's why I say just take religion out of marriage. You'll never be able to take the government out of marriage. Government, one of them things, once you let it in, it's not going nowhere. But if you could take religion out of marriage, people will stop lying to God. If you get divorced, it's still bad. I mean, but if you did the marriage pro system as I said, there wouldn't be no need for divorce. You know why? Because you'd have to renew your marriage every year or every 3 years. So if you decide that you don't want to renew your marriage, you're just not divorced. You're just not married anymore. Hey, baby. We need to renew our marriage next week. This ain't really working out. Yeah, I don't really think it's working out either. Let's not renew. Boom, that's simple. Not married no more. Nah, it's whimsical. You got to check out the whole story. You got to check out the whole concept. The whole concept works. The amount of years. It applies for kids. It has steps for everything. But marriage is tough, guys. And my boy is honorable. That's what I'm saying. And I can really appreciate Shaquille O'Neal. Still not saying nothing bad. Staying above it all. And that's the way to do it, man. Don't get involved into painting the negative picture. She's not painting a negative picture. It looks like they're two great people and they separated fairly amicably. It's hard, but of course it's still hard for any man to hear that. So I digress, my friends. It's tough stuff, but hey, to each his own. I hope happiness for both of them. Highly doubt he gonna ever get married again. She just got married to the preacher man. Let's hope that one's last forever with a preacher man, so it should. But shout out to them, blessings to them. Hopefully everything goes great for them and all of their children and their families, okay? All right, so last but not least, well, not last, but one more thing we're gonna touch on. We're gonna get into some automotive stuff before we let you guys out of here on a special note. But Tesla, this automotive situation, guys, with EV systems is getting out of hand, getting crazy all over the world. And recently, Tesla had a situation where it was making some maneuvers with one of its factories out in Germany, and there was a major protest. It was one of the things that one of my favorite content creators always talks about, is how these protests are fueled by outside people. They get outside people to come in and fuel the protest and make it larger than it is. And that is what I believe is happening in this Tesla situation here in Germany. There was a mass protest where 800 people tried to invade a Tesla factory that was making maneuvers to branch out, to get bigger, expecting more numbers, expecting to hire more people, expecting to expand. So let's check this out real quickly. We're going to talk about it afterwards, but let's check this out.
Protesters in Germany tried to storm a Tesla plant near Berlin on Friday. The demonstrators are opposed to the expansion of the U.S. electric vehicle maker's facility there. Some tried to get at the plant from a nearby wooded area, with police trying to stop them, at times with force. About 800 people took part, according to the organizing group called Disrupt Tesla. It says expansion of the plant would damage the environment, not only in Germany, but also in countries such as Argentina or Bolivia, where lithium is mined as a key resource for EV batteries. We are here to draw attention to the Tesla factory in Grünheide, said spokesperson Ole Becker. He says the group also wants to see free public transportation and to shift the focus away from cars in general. Police say protesters did not actually make it inside the plant premises. Several people were taken into custody, and police received a few reports of injuries. Tesla CEO Elon Musk appeared unimpressed, writing on social media, "Why do the police let the left-wing protesters off so easily?" Police spokesperson Mario Heinemann said police protect freedom of assembly, but intervene when necessary. The plant has been the focus of environmental protests since it was launched by Musk 2 years ago. In March, a suspected arson attack nearby left it without power, halting work there.
Look how do you see how they color coordinated? They all got on black with the blue hats on. Y'all notice that? They all got on the blue hats with the black clothes. And my thing is, there's a lot of police presence, so somebody you would think they probably knew. It's just a factory, so you standardly wouldn't have that much security at a factory like that. So the fact that they have so many police presence tells me that somebody knew beforehand.
Markus, lass uns rausgehen! Raus aus dem Wald, am besten. Los, ganz gut Treffer! Was ist denn da Box da?
It's just crazy. So, I mean, my thing is, excuse me, what do you call them? Disrupt Tesla. So, just another activist group spreading chaos, you know, when it comes to these like EV vehicles. Tesla specifically, Disrupt Tesla is the name of the group. 800 activists, all from all around the world. They said there was some from of course Germany, and then in Austria and all other places. So definitely situations where they're getting people shipped in to assist them with their protesting and assist them with their demonstrating and the chaos that they're causing. My question, of course, would be why. They said it was because they don't want the factory to expand into the forest area, but the factory is already there, so the factory's already taking up space in that area. This world is just a crazy place. It's just the process of protesting certain things has befuddled me. It's like something that Dave Chappelle was saying about when some actresses got together to do the whole Me Too movement. And just like these guys, they dressed all in black and they went to an award ceremony. Didn't change nothing. Didn't say nothing. So there was no words. There was no ability to change anything. It was just a show of unity, like this, a show of unity. Everybody's wearing black. Everybody got the same blue hat on that somebody handed to them while they were walking in a line, signing up to do the protest. How is this going to affect change? Who's going to do something about it? Is this supposed to get Elon Musk attention to get him to do something? We know that's not going to happen. Elon Musk can care less. Matter of fact, he was on there talking shit. He ain't going to do nothing. Ain't going to change nothing. Going to tear down the forest right next to it and continue to build. Because that's what rich people do. They expand. They create. What do protests do? Just stop things? Wouldn't it be easier or better for these 800 people to show up to some town meeting, to vote to some degree, to put together a campaign to stop them from tearing down the forest? Wouldn't that be more productive? These people ain't got no jobs. 800 people who had this whole day to spend in Germany trying to get into a factory, which somebody already snitched on them. Let's face it. Somebody snitched on them because they were prepared. Look at all the police presence that was there. They were prepared for this to happen. Somebody snitched on them. Matter of fact, there's probably one of the protesters snitched on them. Probably did it so they can get the publicity, get the cameraman out there. Look at all the camera people out there. Even the police got cameras. So it was just a all-around ploy from everybody to get notoriety or to get people to see something. What everybody saw, ain't gonna change nothing. I hope one of you protesters went to the court system and filed some paperwork to get them to stop from expanding into the forest. Because all this did was get a whole bunch of fools arrested and create bills for their asses that if they can pay or not, or they probably won't pay them. They're going to pay whoever started the protest, whoever paid them to get there, probably people going to pay to get them out of jail. Because that's how that works. It's crazy, man. I don't know if it's a waste of time. It's definitely a waste of somebody's money, but that's their money to waste. So. And all it's going to do is what? Put a shortage on Tesla vehicles here in the States. Put a shortage on Tesla vehicles in Germany or other places that they ship them to. make it harder for the people who already work at the factory to work. I think there was a report that several people got hurt. Several of the police got hurt. Several of the protesters got hurt. They're in Germany. Police gonna whoop your ass. Is it worth it? It's the ultimate question. Is it worth it? I don't know, man. But it's exciting. It's interesting. It is the world we live in, and we're going to continue to watch it, to review it, and try to make as much change as we can. So, final thing, my friends, final thing. It is Mother's Day. So, last thing we're going to do is show my favorite video. Now, originally it was just a Mother's Day video from my mother, but not too long ago, my grandmother passed away, so I changed it a little bit to include her and my aunt. So, I miss you, Grandma. I love you, Mom. I love you, Keena. All the great mothers in my world: Jolene, Keena, Janice, Fifi, Phyllis, all the great women, all the great mothers in my life. Thank you for being great mothers. Thank you for helping us, raising us, and being good to us. You true great mothers are a godsend that we should all cherish very much. So, as we get out of here, we're going to go out on my favorite video. My favorite video. So, I'm your boy, Chris C. Pup Surratt. Happy Mother's Day. I love you, Janice. I love you, Keena. I love you all. Have a good Sunday. Peace.
Mama, you know I love you. Ooh, you know I love you, Mama. Mama, you're the queen of my heart.
This is my beautiful mother in her usher outfit. Look at her, she's so cute. Yeah, whatever.